Hello students, as I had promised you people in my previous video that I'll be elaborating certain points which were raised in that video about the Victorian novel, or to be more precise, the 19th century British novels. So today's video will be covering the basic features of Victorian novel. We'll be discussing in detail some of the famous Victorian novelists and their works. So students, the Victorian novels, why this Shizon novel became so popular in Victorian era, the reason behind it was it reflected the great social changes of this period, as well as the novels of the Victorian era. They were generally based on a very strong concept of morality, because in a society where modern industries were emerging rapidly, many literary works sought to bring out the grim reality of a landless working class and the precarious condition of a declining gentry. So, novels became the best medium for that, and that's why they became so popular. And it is here noteworthy that for the first time among the readers, women were in maximum number. Now here in this slide I am giving you pictures of some of the popular novelists of that era. From on the very you can say left hand side we have Charles Dickens. Just near him towards the bottom side are the Bronte sisters. Then we have W.M. Thackeray, George Eliot, Thomas Hardy. These are the pictures of some of the popular novelists of that era. Now I am going to discuss one by one in detail some of the most popular novelists of Victorian era. So the person who tops the list of Victorian novelists is none other than Charles Dickens. For him, it can be said that any discussion of Victorian authors surely will reserve a preeminent spot for Charles Dickens. He is rather considered as the king of novels of the first half of Victorian era. Dickens focused on the profound moral sensibility in his works. He was not only the first great urban novelist in England, but also one of the most important social commentators who used fiction effectively to criticize economic, social, and moral abuses in the Victorian era. So, it can be said that he had very keen eyes to observe the, you can say, various traits of the society, and that's what is reflected in his works also. If we talk about his popular works, I'm going to give you the list of that. They include The Pickwick Papers, Oliver Twist, Nicholas Nickleby, A Christmas Carol, David Copperfield, A Tale of Two Cities, Great Expectations. So these are some of the famous novels by Charles Dickens. The next one in our list is R.L. Stevenson. His full name was Robert Louis Stevenson. He was actually a Scottish writer, and one thing very remarkable about him is that he lived entirely during the reign of Queen Victoria. He was born 13 years after her coronation, and he died 7 years before her own death. So in short, we can say if anyone were a Victorian writer, it would be Stevenson. If we talk about his works, there are two great works by Stevenson that are widely known and recognized even by the public today. The first is Treasure Island, and the second is Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. If we talk about the first one, that is Treasure Island, it is a fantastic story, adventure story rather, where a boy essentially embarks on a quest through which he comes to a deeper and more mature understanding of himself. And the second one, that is Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, it is actually a fascinating psychological novel that depicts the case of split personality disorder. See students, now I think split personality disorder is a term which you might have heard somewhere in the movies or might have read about it in the books. But just imagine, it was a totally unexplored thing in Victorian era, and one of the writers had the guts to write about this, making it the core topic of his core, you can say, theme of his work. So it is the you can say theme of Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Coming to the next writer, I'm going to take up the next writer. He is Victor Hugo. Now students, Victor Hugo was actually a Frenchman. So perhaps it seems quite odd that I included him here in the discussion of Victorian writers, because it was specifically an era of English history. However, I must say, anyone who has ever been exposed to the works of Hugo will surely get a sense that this author belongs in a thorough discussion of Victorian epic writers, because he was alive and professionally active during the reign of Queen Victoria, and his most popular novel, Les Miserables, that is the tale of French Revolution, interspersed with multiple plotliness featuring grand themes of love and redemption. This novel is classically Victorian in its sensibility. That's why he has been included in this list. Moving further, now I'm going to take up the Bronte sisters. See students, Victorian era is also remarkable for this fact that for the first time in English literary history, women writers made their presence felt. And you can say the beginning was with the works of Bronte sisters. They were 3 in number, namely Emily, Charlotte and Anne. But they wrote under male pseudonyms of Currer, Ellis and Acton Bell. Bronte sisters is actually the collective name of these 3 individual authors. So if we talk about their works, Anne composed the novels Agnes Grey and The Tenant of Woodfell Hall, whereas Emily composed Wuthering Heights. It's one of the most famous Gothic romances. And Charlotte composed 4 works, namely Jane Eyre, Villette, Shirley and the Professor. Out of them, Jane Eyre is perhaps the most read romantic novel of the era. All the 3 sisters, they published their works under male pseudonyms, perhaps due to the fact that the gender stereotypes of the day and age would have prevented the works from being taken seriously by the general public. That's why they had to adopt male pseudonyms. So you can just very well have an idea what sort of struggle the women writers had to do to get their works published. Now, next one in this list is none other than Thomas Hardy. After Dickens, he is regarded as the most eminent of all the Victorian novelists. Indeed, some people even suggest that Hardy dominated the late Victorian era just as Dickens had dominated the early part of the era. If we talk about the writing style and the themes explored by Dickens and Hardy, we find a striking similarity between the two. They both were committed to using the power of literature to fulfill an old fashioned prophetic role. If we talk about the popular works of Thomas Hardy, they include Tess of the D'Urbervilles, Far from the Madding Trout, The Mayor of Casterbridge, and Jude the Obscure. Out of these, I think Tess of the D'Urbervilles is perhaps even my most favorite novel till today, because if you go through the novel very keenly, the feminine sensibility has been captured in that. So it is really a thing to read. If we proceed further in this list, the next writer that I'm going to take up is George Eliot. See, George Eliot was also a woman. It was her pseudonym. The real name of George Eliot was Mary Ann Evans. But like the Bronte sisters, as I had told you people earlier, she also had to adopt a masculine pseudonym in order to conceal her gender so that her works could have been taken seriously by the Victorian society. If we talk about her works, The Mill on the Floss, Middlemarch, Silas Marner, and Romola are the most famous compositions by her. And out of them, Middlemarch is the most popular novel written by her. The next one in this list, I think he's the seventh one, is Alexander Dumas. Alexander Dumas was also another Frenchman like Hugo, but I have included him here because of the simple reason that he is responsible for some of the most loved and thrilling novels that came out of the 19th century. And the fact that he was not British does nothing to detract from the fact that the spirit of his works is often close to the spirit of works of an author such as Stevenson. Here I am going to give you the names of two of his most popular novels. These were The Three Musketeers and The Count of Monte Cristo. These two novels have been the basis of great number of film adaptations, as well as a great number of stories have been inspired. As far as plot is concerned, they have taken their inspiration from these two great works. Dumas is also responsible for writing the version of The Nutcracker that was eventually adapted into the famous ballet of that name by the Russian composer Tchaikovsky. So, we can say that these seven were the most popular Victorian novelists. But I would like to mention a few more. See, in the second half of the century, writers no more identified with the values of society and they openly criticized them. They were very much influenced by the realism theory and Darwinian theory of evolution. So, if we talk about the basic theme that prevailed during the later Victorian era was pessimistic view of the life. Here I would like to name a few more writers. Henry James, who was an American by birth, but he has also reflected, you can say, the conflict between the American and the European culture in his works, especially The Portrait of a Lady. Similarly, if we talk about, like in the previous video, I told you people that children literature was also one of the chief qualities of Victorian era. So Lewis Carroll is the one whose name I would like to take, or like to tell you people. His work, Alice in Wonderland, I think most of you might have heard the name of this work, Alice in Wonderland. There was a very popular cartoon series aired on Doordarshan during 90s. So Alice in Wonderland is regarded as the best creative work for children till this date. Apart from that, Oscar Wilde, who was the main representative of aestheticism, was also one of the popular Victorian novelists. So, students, that's all for today. Though I have tried my level best to give you as much information as possible about the Victorian era, if you still find any difficulty, feel free to contact me on WhatsApp, and just go through the video very seriously, because very soon you will be given a test based on this. Probably on Saturday you will be given an assignment based on these video lectures and the notes that I'm going to share with you people on Thursday and Friday. Till then, stay safe, stay at home.